Hi and welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Underwater Filmmaking School. My name is Matthias and I am literally standing out in the rain for you today because we're back out here at the Lake of Zurich testing gear just for you. Today we have got the OrcaTorch D910V, which is an underwater video light, and I am very curious to see how this 5000 lumen video light performs here in the Lake of Zurich. Are you curious as well? Come and join me. Let's go. Now, my first impression at the unboxing of the D910V by OrcaTorch was confirmed when we took it under the surface for the very first time. The light actually produces a very nice and even light beam. The 5000 lumen power that it outputs is quite okay. It is definitely enough for any macro kind of work. It gets to its limit when we start shooting wide angle. Now, we've used this underwater video light with a Osmo Action, a action camera mounted on a tray by Scuba Lamp, the TG21, and that actually worked quite well. The whole setup is nice and compact, small, and you can even just have it with you during the dive, just tucked in your BCD, and then just pull it out whenever you want to shoot something. One thing that I didn't particularly enjoy about using the OrcaTorch D910V was the mounting mechanism of the ball mount onto the actual light. Now, what happened was, now looking back at it, quite funny. At the time it happened, it was actually more annoying than anything else, because this screw must have gotten loose sometime between putting the underwater video lamp onto the tray and getting into the water. So by the time we got into the water and I started using the underwater video light, I suddenly had the body of the light in one hand, where the ball mount was still attached to the camera tray. So that was really a fail. So we had to get out of the water, get the Allen key and reattach the ball mount to the light's body. I'm not going to blame anyone for this other than myself for not checking that it was properly attached to the body before getting into the water. But lesson learned, next time I will make sure to check that it's properly attached here before I take it into the water. Getting back to the specifics of the underwater video light, as I said before, I've really enjoyed using it. It's small, it's compact, it's fairly light. You can just have it with you, and I think it works perfect with action cameras, small compact cameras, DJI's Osmo Action, GoPros, maybe even a Olympus TG5 or 6. For those kind of cameras, I think this underwater video light is just perfect. It's very simple to use. It's got just one single button for operation here, which is also easily used with thicker gloves. So yes, you can use this light in colder conditions like here in Switzerland, where we were diving in dry suits and obviously in thicker gloves. No problem at all using the underwater light there and operating it properly. Now, when it comes to operating the light, what I really enjoyed while using this light, and this is a feature that I miss in a lot of other underwater video lights, is that when you turn it on, there's a tiny little light on top of the actual button that you press, and that light will indicate and show you how much battery life you've got left in your underwater video light. And that's incredibly valuable information. Some other manufacturers have different mechanisms of showing that to you, but this has proven to me to be a very reliable and really easy way to determining how much energy, how much battery life I've got left in the battery pack there. You've got three different colors that this tiny little bulb will show you. Green for anything above 70% of battery life, orange for anything in between 70 and 30%, and red for anything below 30%. Once it reaches 10% of remaining battery life, the red light will start to flash and you'll know that it will go out anytime soon. One thing that I noticed is that the light that comes out of the OrcaTorch D910V is rather on the warmer side, being 5700 Kelvin. It's not a big difference to other underwater video lights in terms of the color temperature, but I still think that I saw a slight difference there. So all of the images, they seem to be just a slightly bit more to the reddish side. And one other thing I like to mention is one of the most useful features, or the coolest features in my opinion, on the OrcaTorch D910V, and it is its magnetic charging mechanism. Now, they say it's charged super quick in about 2.5 hours. I don't know if 2.5 hours is super quick, especially not if you're on a dive boat and in between two dives. But then again, you can actually just take off the battery pack and just put this other battery pack on and go back into the water. But putting that aside, the magnetic charger, well, this is what always happens when you screw it back on, but the magnetic charger is actually really cool and a lot of fun to use. And I mean, this is great, having something that's fun to use. Look at this. I can't get enough of that. On the other hand, one thing that I don't like about the OrcaTorch 910V is, again, the mounting system of the ball mount onto the actual body of the underwater video light. Reason being, that it is actually fixed. Other lights will have like a ring on the body where the mounting system is attached on, so you can actually turn this and turn the position of the button that activates and changes the modes on the video light. This is not possible here, and sometimes when you have it on your underwater housing or on the tray, if you're using a tray, it can be, depending on how you position the light, it can be rather hard actually pushing that button and being able to change modes or turn it off or on. So OrcaTorch, this is something that I would suggest for an upcoming version of this light. Try to make some kind of a mechanism where you can actually turn and rotate the body of the light without turning the attachment point to the housing or the video tray. So who do I think will like this $400 underwater video light? I would say anyone who wants to lighten up their videos but is not ready to spend a larger amount of money. I think $400 is a very fair price for this video light. 5000 lumen is, again, it's not huge, but it's enough at least to lighten up your macro stuff. And if you want to have more light in your images, if you want to shoot wide angle, make sure to get 2 of these. They'll cost you $800 then, and you'll get a really, really nice and decent underwater lightning set that will help you just get more color and more light into your images. All right, and we're at the end of this review. Thank you very much for joining us and watching. As always, if this video was useful to you, if you've learned something out of it, if it even was a little entertaining, please do hit that like button. As you know, it does mean a lot to me and everyone in our team. And also consider subscribing to the channel so you're not missing out on any future gear review that will come up here. Now, I want to use this opportunity to also let you know that if you have something specific, a specific piece of gear that you want us to review, please feel free to put that down in the comment section. We cannot promise anything, but we'll try whatever is possible to get our hands on whatever piece of equipment you find most interesting, and we'll try to get it wet and test it for you guys, because that's what we're here for. Right, so there's not much more to say than off to new adventures, and I will see you in the next video.